Good evening, this is Kuro and number 2. Going over the matchmaking, we've got an enemy Essex, got a Salem, Moskva, Donskoy, Kronstadt rounding out the radar threats. We're looking at Gearing and Shima for the destroyer threats. And this is going to be a commentary on how to play Daring. Hey, come on now, number 2. Be good, stay out of that stuff. Okay, so it's a CV match. Daring has pretty much can't even swear at the planes level of AA. So I need to rely on my teammates to help me in that regard before I can really do anything on the caps. And I get lucky where our Taiho, he's already got one fighter that's, already right over the top of me right now. It's looking like I'm going to have enough air cover to get out there and not just the way this guy's moving, not just, step into the cap, but I believe that he's actually going to push his fighters up and actually spot the enemy DDs. Just judging by the way he's moving his planes, how aggressively he's pushing up right now. So that's given me, and there's the DD. That's given me kind of a window that, I've got the option of trying to sort out where this guy's going. I don't think he's going to be going into cap with these planes this close around him. I actually think this Gearing still had his AA on. That's why he got spotted so far out. Now, they've got the Donskoy pushing in here, and a lot of this is just good general destroyer tactics. I don't want to get in this guy's AA or inside this guy's radar, so I'm not gonna push up into this gap. I'm gonna push back in here. I've got this island that I can use as cover from these guys that would have shots at me, and I'm angled semi away from this Zal. Now I'm inside the Donskoy radar. I'm just risking it right now. I did pop Hydro. This Gearing does have torps that could be anywhere. So Hydro's just there to keep me safe. And there's the Gearing torps. I'm looking right now to try to drop torps on this Yamato, but as I'm getting ready to drop, he's gonna swing in behind this island, and I'm just gonna hold on to my torps. Daring normally does not have a very fast torpedo reload, so you want to be somewhat selective in what you're dropping with your torpedoes. Your guns are your primary armament. You're gonna want to buff those as much as you can, and right here I'm just launching a perspective torp just in case he turns hard in, full speed, and I'm just being patient here. The Gearing can't torp me. His torps are on cooldown. The Gearing's getting ready to push into the cap. Our CV is doing a really good job at getting me little flash sight pictures of what's going on with that destroyer. And I'm just gonna pull out of the cap because there's nothing really going on here for me right now. This Yamato, unfortunately, he's just parking behind that island, so my torps are gonna be a waste. I see the Gearing on cap. Now what I want to do, I wanted to try to get into this position right in here. I just didn't want to take the risk early on with the Donskoy inside radar range. So I'm just going to take the safe way in here and, go to this position. From this position, I've got shots on this Gearing. I might have shots into the Yamato. I mean, if you look, there's an airfield right here that I can shoot over. I can shoot over these islands here. I've got a gap here I can shoot. There's a lot of different options here, and why I'm going here is RCV's done a really good job at providing vision that I you know, I can sit here, I can chill, and I can go to work just with my guns and help my team out that way. Now, it looked like this gearing actually shot while he's capping. Yeah, he's shooting. He's smoking up, and this is the advantage that I'm talking about with this position. I'm going to pause it right here. If you're looking, even though I've got almost a 13-kilometer gun range, all the islands here block line of sight, so I'm able to blind shoot into this position where a lot of destroyers try to cap. This is just a really good general position if you've got like a gunboat or something like that, and you don't have to go spot for your team or something like that. You can sneak a destroyer up in here. This isn't a cruiser-friendly position. You'll get citadeled to shit because your guns have greater range. You don't have as much concealment. If he sneaks a plane in here, I can just instantly smoke up. You know, most cruisers can't. So I'm gonna sit in here and just try to get some damage in on this gearing, try to get some resets. And I'm just looking to kind of see where I think this guy is. It's a little more complicated because this build doesn't have RPF. And at this point, I'm just kind of wasting time taking those shots there. So I'm just gonna pull up. I'm gonna get spun around, and you know, I'm just looking for another opportunity. I'd really like to, you know, work some of these guys over up here. Gearing gets radared, and you know, this is what I was waiting for, a radar to be popped, and you know, we're gonna just hammer this guy. And that fast, that's the end of the gearing. So really good just teamwork there, just patience, getting the cap. I was staying close to the Des Moines for AA, had friendly fighters over my head. This is another thing. Shimakaze pops up. Shimakaze doesn't have a heal. I do. So any sort of damage I get on him, even if I take a little bit in return, or take, you know, even a little more in return, I can heal it back, and that's a good trade for me. Whereas the Shimas, it's going to hurt them a lot more. So when you're playing a destroyer with a heal, understand, you know, that sort of play style where you're there trying to punish, you know, the enemy ships or enemy destroyers. Now, Zhao does pop up. I'm just going to use... Daring is actually a pretty small boat. It's got pretty good turning, really good acceleration. It kind of is a little iffy on deceleration. But 9 kilometers, you know, you can make some really good dodges just open water with this Zhao, against even something like a Zhao. This Zhao takes a big hit. I'm instantly loading AP. I want to help my team finish that guy off. I don't want to give him a chance to be able to repair or heal or, you know, any of that other nonsense. He needs to die. So, at this point, just going to pause it, take a look at the map positioning. Enemy team has a Kurfürst that's rolling through our spawn. This guy really hasn't been able to do too much as far as affecting the outcome of the game. We've got a Kronstadt back there somewhere that's unspotted. I gotta keep an eye out for this guy because he's a source of radar. And the last thing I'd want to do is get pinched between a Donskoy, a Moskva, or Kronstadt, something like that. Or get pushed into ships because of his radar. So that's a concern right now that I got. There you go, buddy. That I got to keep an eye on because my behind me isn't secure right now. I've got a low health Yamato. I'm pushing up. I want to try to get some vision on this guy. I think he might be sneaking between these islands, though, to kind of skulk off and heal up. I've got a Donskoy that this guy he got whacked pretty good, but I imagine he's been disengaged for a while. I imagine he's been able to get at least one repair off, maybe two. So I think he's got more HP than that. And then looking at my team is pretty solidly clumped, at C. And then we have a token force on B. And the enemy team, for whatever reason, went with like an AC split. And that can be really hard to pull off if you don't know what you're doing. And I don't think they know what they're doing because there's no real attempts at trying to do a crossfire. This Kurfürst, could have pushed up into here, and he would have been able to have a really strong influence on these ships, and probably pinched this Des Moines out. I mean, this Des Moines right now is kind of in a precarious situation where you've got a Musashi pushing through. You've got a Yamato up here. He's angled towards the Jean Bart. And then a Kurfürst that overmatches him from the rear. So this guy, he's pinned down. He's got to play pretty safe. So how I can support my team is get out there and try to get rid of some of these guys. And that's, going to be one of my objectives. I want to come around here. I want to try to spot this Yamato. If I get lucky, maybe run into the Shima. But with just these battleships around here, I don't really need to instantly use my smoke. My smokes are pretty short. I do go on ahead and smoke up, but only after I've got a couple shots in. I was kind of hoping for an early fire, and, just didn't get it. So, kind of hopping in the smoke, change my position. Musashi shoots. And, just going to keep working this guy over, trying to, hit land shells on a superstructure. I finally get the first fire. He instantly damage controls that. Now, this is opening a window of opportunity for me. My smoke's getting ready to wear out. I'm switching to torps, simulate a torpedo run. Looking, is he turning? Is he turning? No. Okay, gonna lay down a spread that way. And my smoke's running out. I'm plane spotted. I'm just going to go on ahead and keep shooting it. My smoke, as soon as it was done, is back up in around 24, 23 seconds. He's not going to be able to kill me in that amount of time. So, just going to use my heals. Getting rid of this guy is going to really shore up my team's position down here on B-Cap. He's got a bunch of fires, eats a torp, gets a flood. I think somebody else probably got a flood on his bow. Yeah, the current flooding mechanics, you can only have one flood on a ship. So whoever lands the last flood, they're the one that gets the damage. It is how it is. But we basically melted that Musashi. I mean, there wasn't much left of him. This Moskva pushing up, thought he was going to stop around the corner. He's still pushing in. And this is the sort of play style that's how you play these Royal Navy destroyers, particularly Jutland and Daring. In the late game, you sorted out the destroyer situation. You're seeing how aggressive I'm being with the guns, with my smokes. You're okay, buddy. Hey, come here. Come here. You're all right. Ugh. And just gunboating this guy. I know he's got radar. It's unlikely he's gonna be able to kill me in time before me and my team are able to kill this guy. He's giving me broadside, and, you get broadside targets, go to town on them. I do pop smoke because he did radar me earlier. Um, so this is pretty much my time to just kind of farm this guy down. And that Republic comes in, finishes him off. And at this point, you know, the enemy team's pretty much broken completely. Um, they've got a Kronstadt that's getting rushed down by a Musashi and Republic on our team. Um, their Yamato finally got finished off up there, and then just got a Donskoy that's, you know, kiting around up there. Um, you know, at this point the game's obviously won. Um, but I do want to keep playing it because you see, you know, the value of the repairs right here. You know, I'm at 11.6k HP right now. I've got a repair coming up, and you know, just popping it. And you see just how as the game progresses, you know, you're able to repair. You know, now I'm back up over half HP, 14.5. You know, that wasn't even a full heal. I just used that because I know the game's getting ready to be over. I'm questioning whether I'm going to get in range of this Donskoy to shoot him or not. So why not use the repair? Now, this isn't, you know, a super high damage game, but this game did really show you kind of the harassing nature that you play around enemy destroyers. Um, you know, getting out there, you know, if you're trying to use your team's radar to punish, uh, you know, DDs. Now, do note the difference in the AP out here. You notice, you know, the you know, little ticks of damage with HE. As soon as he went broadside, I switched to AP. Even at, you know, extended range, your AP is incredibly potent. So that was a little clip that's a lot of value right there. I don't think a lot of people would think about actually using your AP at that range. Again, this game, I had time for one daring game today before clan battles, and you know, here it is. You know, I picked up half the team's caps, got a couple defenses, you know, a little bit of spotting damage. Our CV did a really good job in the early game and into the mid game, providing vision over the cap. That let me take up some positions where I could just, you know, harass enemy destroyers that just got spotted by either planes or radar or something like that. And it's about these HP trades when you're fighting destroyers. You know, you don't have to, you know, engage in a duel to the death. Honestly, it hurts you more to do that um, because you're going to take more damage um, up front by having that extended kind of fight. Um, you know, you chip them away, use that repair party. You keep regenerating that strength back, and at the same time, destroyers without the repair party, you know, they're just getting weaker and weaker while you're able to regain some of what you've lost. And that's a real basic principle on playing these ships. Easy, buddy, easy. Okay, I guess you wanted to play it again. I don't think so. Everybody's done seen it. Sorry about that, guys. Um, you know, the just to recap the that kind of mid-game harassing play style. Once we got the gearing out of the way, once the Shima, you know, was out of the picture, the enemy CV, you know, wasn't able to constantly harass me. I started shifting into, you know, a lot more aggressive gunboating, using my HP, using my guns. Um, you know, 257 hits. This is, you can rack up a lot more than this. I didn't really use all of my smokes. Um, for a really good game, 3, 4 torp hits and, 400, 500 plus shell hits, that's when you really start getting into the realm of, really good games. So, hope you guys enjoyed this daring game. I know it's not an earth-shattering game, but again, this is what I had with my time constraints today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions, leave them below, and I will talk to you guys later.